The Man in the Stairwell. I live alone in a small apartment building, just 3 floors, quiet neighbors. Nothing too exciting. But about a month ago, something started happening at exactly 3:17 a.m. every single night. I'd hear slow, heavy footsteps coming up the stairwell just outside my door. At first, I assumed it was someone who worked late, or maybe a neighbor with insomnia. But the footsteps never went past my door. They always stopped, right in front of it. No knock, no sound, just silence after the final step. Then, after a few minutes, I'd hear them go back down. Slow, deliberate. I tried to ignore it. I even slept with earplugs, but curiosity got the better of me. One night, I waited with the hallway light off and watched through the peephole. What I saw wasn't human. It was tall, too tall. Its head nearly touched the ceiling, and it had no eyes, just deep hollows in its face, like its skin was stretched over an empty skull. It didn't move, just stood there, breathing heavily. I could hear it. I backed away, heart racing, barely able to breathe. And then, a whisper from the other side of the door. "I know you're there." I didn't sleep that night, or the night after. Now, every night at 3:17, I hide in the corner of my room with the lights off. The footsteps still come, and I think he's getting bolder. This morning, there were scratch marks on my door, from the inside. The voice in the static. During my first year of college, I shared a dorm with a guy named Eli. Super chill guy. Until one night, he started freaking out, claiming our old radio was talking to him. I thought he was joking, or maybe high, but he looked genuinely scared. He said it spoke through the static, saying things like, "Don't trust her," and "He's listening." I laughed it off, until I started hearing it too. It always happened late at night. Just as I was about to fall asleep, I'd hear a faint hiss. Then my name. Just my name. Over and over again. In a flat, toneless whisper. "Matt. Matt." I thought I was going crazy. I even unplugged the radio, but the static still came. Now from my laptop speakers, my phone, even when everything was off. And then it started saying things it shouldn't know. It talked about my sister's miscarriage, about a lie I told my mum when I was 12, things I never told anyone. One night, it said, "There's someone behind you." I turned around, and I swear to God, I saw a shape in the dark, just standing there, watching me. My whole body went cold. I ran out of the room and didn't come back for 3 days. Eli dropped out shortly after. I never saw him again. I transferred dorms, switched majors, tried to forget it all. But now, years later, I've started hearing static again. No radio this time. Just silence turning into whispers. And last night, my phone lit up by itself. It had one notification. "Welcome back, Matt." The wrong reflection. You ever get that weird feeling in the bathroom mirror? Like, the person looking back isn't quite you? I used to brush it off. Just paranoia. Until last winter. I had just gotten home from work, exhausted. Went into the bathroom, turned on the light, and leaned over to wash my face. When I looked up, my reflection didn't move. At first, I thought I was just tired, but then I moved my hand, and the reflection didn't. It stood still, eyes locked with mine, an almost imperceptible smirk creeping across its lips. I froze. Then it slowly raised its hand, the opposite hand, and placed it against the glass, like it was trying to come through. I screamed and stumbled back. My reflection suddenly snapped back to normal, mirroring my panic. I told my roommate, but he thought I was joking. So I started testing it. Every night, I'd stare at the mirror. Most times, it was normal. But sometimes, just sometimes, it would lag, or tilt its head the wrong way, or blink when I didn't. I started covering mirrors in the house, avoiding eye contact. But one night, I forgot to cover the bathroom one. When I came in, it was already waiting for me. No movement, just staring. Then, it mouthed something. I couldn't hear it, but I could read the words. Let me in. I've since removed every mirror in the house, but reflections, they still show up. In windows, in water, in dark screens. And I swear, sometimes they blink when I don't. She wasn't on the guest list. It was my cousin's wedding, a beautiful outdoor ceremony followed by a cozy indoor reception. I was on Polaroid duty, snapping photos of guests all night. At first, everything seemed normal, until we started going through the pictures. In every single photo, I mean every one, there was a woman in the background, pale, black dress, no smile, just staring. She was never standing with anyone, always alone. No one remembered seeing her in person. We checked the guest list, the caterers, even the hired staff. No match. She wasn't supposed to be there. Then my aunt remembered something weird. She said she saw someone standing in the back row during the ceremony, but when she turned to ask who it was, the woman was gone. A week later, my cousin received a package with no return address. Inside was a single Polaroid, one that wasn't taken at the wedding. It showed him asleep in bed, and behind him, at the edge of the frame, was that same woman, closer this time, smiling. They moved a week later, but no matter where they go, they still get Polaroids in the mail. The girl from apartment 206. I moved into a cheap apartment complex a few months ago. Nothing fancy, but it was quiet, or so I thought. The first night, I heard crying through the wall, high-pitched, childlike. I figured someone next door had a kid. It went on for hours. The next day, I knocked on 206. No answer. Curious, I asked the landlord about it. He gave me a strange look and said, "There's no one living in 206, hasn't been for over a year." I asked why, and he hesitated before telling me, "A little girl died there in a fire. Electrical short. Her parents moved out immediately." I didn't sleep that night. The crying came back. And then, the whispers. "Help me. Play with me." One night, I heard a knock on my door. When I opened it, no one was there. Just a single burnt teddy bear on the welcome mat. After that, things got worse. The lights in my apartment flickered at 2:06 a.m. sharp. I'd wake up to small, soot-covered handprints on my mirror. My food would be moved. Sometimes the faucets would turn on by themselves. I tried burning sage, calling priests, even moving bedrooms. But nothing helped. Last week, I recorded audio overnight. At exactly 2:06 a.m., I heard a little girl say, "If you won't come play with me, I will come play with you." I'm writing this from a hotel room now. I checked out of that apartment. But last night, the crying came again, from the hallway.